Hello YouTube, this is a mead experiment. Trying to figure out which is better, dry or frozen fruits in melomels. Now this question was presented to Ricky the Mead Maker roughly 3, 4, 5 months ago. And his answer to it was simply, I run a business, you're on your own on this one. So, taking that cue, I decided to go with what's called Viking's Blood. And anyone out there who knows anything about melomels knows that's simply a cherry mead. So I took a dry cherries versus frozen cherries to see the results are. Now for the dry, the recipe is 2 5-ounce bags, 1 gallon of spring water, D47 yeast. I used DAP as food. Pectic enzyme was tossed in later. 4 pounds of clover honey, making it a semi-sweet mead. Starting gravity is 1.134, sugar at 32, ABV 18. Please understand I'm not very good at the hydrometer, so these numbers could be off by a marginal. They were boiled with the cherries. I do the boil method. No complaining, people. And the boil was for 20 minutes. Cover, let cool, and let stand overnight. The result is this guy. As you can tell, not very well from the angle and the camera here, it is more of a brick red. The end result of this is at an anti-gravity of 1.038, sugar at 10, ABV 5, giving an overall ABV of 13%. It has a nice light smell to it. The look is of an orange-red, earthy. Also part of my notes here, it says smell is kind of alcohol-y, cherry fruity with a bit of honey involved. The taste is a burnt earth with cherry and honey highlights. Not bad, a little heavy. Now, the other, of course, is the frozen. Frozen recipe is 1 20-ounce tart red cherries, frozen, 1 gallon of spring water, D47, DAP was the nutrient, pectic enzyme was put in, 4 pounds of clover honey, also had a 20-minute boil, please no complaining, and it was left to stand overnight. Starting measurements is gravity 16, sugar 28, ABV 17. This is where things get weird. Ending gravity for this beauty right here, as you can tell, is a wonderful, nice cherry red. But its ending gravity is 1.4. Sugar is now down to roughly 1. With an ABV of roughly 1, giving it an overall ABV of 16%. A severe drop compared to the dry. The look is so much nicer than the dry. It doesn't look nearly as earthy. According to my notes from recently pouring and tasting it, the look is of red, pink, and earthy, which is still remains. It's been several hours since I poured, so I have plenty of time to breathe. The smell is faint cherry honey. The taste is a light with highlights of bitterness and faint cherry. Now the thing is, when I use D47 and some other wine yeast, I make terrible melomels. They come much better when I start using beer yeast, such as SO4. So I'm not sure whether this is part of the yeast or whether it is a difference between dry and frozen. But when it compares to the two, you get this orangey brick versus an actual light pink. Visually, I'd have to give it to the frozen, but taste-wise, I give it to the dry. Now, had difficulty with the dry in that there are many packaging out there that has a dry cherry or dry plum, but they add in sugars and they add in other preservatives. So if you wish to do this experiment on your own, be warned of that. It's very difficult just to find simply dry cherries and that's all. Now I want to give this a try with apricot as well as plum. So I don't know if I'll be putting these on YouTube or not, but these are part of future plans in my home meadery, as it were. So there you go. The dry, a beautiful orangey red. The frozen, beautiful reddish pink. But past that, very different, very wide range when it comes to the ABV as well as the flavors. Try it yourself, see what you think in the comments about this. Please put them down below. Better yet, try this experiment on your own. Post your results on YouTube. I'm sure there's a lot more people out there who will be interested in seeing your results versus my results. So until next time, as always, keep on drinking.